East Chicago Common Council public hearing and regular meeting, Monday, July 12th, will now come to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Lord, Heavenly Father, we come before you once again this evening, Lord, asking you for the wisdom that we need to guide our community. Father, we ask that you would be here present among us, Lord, and guiding us in all that we do. Be with those that are traveling to and from. Keep them safe. In your precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Roll call.
First District Councilwoman Monica Gonzalez.
Here.
Second District Councilman Lenny Francisco.
Present.
District Councilman Terry Hill.
Here.
Fourth District Councilwoman Stacy Winfield.
Councilwoman Winfield called me. She was going to be out of the country.
Fifth District Councilman Roberto Garcia.
Present.
Sixth District Councilwoman Gilda Orange.
Present.
Councilman at Large Dwayne Ransford. Councilman at Large Kenneth Monroe.
Present.
Council President Emiliano Perez.
Present. We will begin the public hearing portion. Ordinance 21-0039, sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland, additional appropriation ordinance for the Department of Parks and Recreation. Do we have someone here to speak for?
Good evening, Council. Once again, we're here just to discuss.
I'm sorry, for the record, you just state your name and your position.
I'm sorry. Vanessa Hernandez Orange, East Chicago Parks and Recreation Department Director.
Thank you.
And I'm here just to state that I'm asking for the approval of the funds that we have before you in the ordinance, also in ordinance 21-0039. I think you guys all have received our information of what those funds are going towards, and would just like the approval so we could put some of this stuff into place.
Any questions for Ms. Orange from the council? Thank you, Ms. Orange.
Thank you.
Anyone here to speak against ordinance 21-0039? Hearing none, we'll move on to ordinance 21-0040. Anyone here to speak for?
Good evening, Council. Natalie Adams, East Chicago Marina, but actually this is for special events. I'm assuming your packet had the information on what this was for. This is to replace the existing controllers for the inception lights that go around this building. Those lights, those controllers are obsolete now, so when and if anything happens with the lights, we can't fix it, because normally we can fix it manually via an iPad or something like that. So we need to replace the controllers so that we can continue to change the lights, as well as if a row went out or something like that, we could probably do the repair ourselves. As well as one of the I Love My City signs was broken and needs repair.
Any questions for Ms. Adams from the council? Thank you, Ms. Adams.
Thank you.
Anyone here to speak against ordinance 21-0040? Hearing none, that closes the public hearing portion. Minutes,
Mr. President, we have none prepared at this time.
communications from the mayor. No communication from the mayor?
Not to my knowledge, Mr. President.
Communication from department heads?
Accounts payable warrant 063021CC, 070221CC, 071221CC, 071221LA.
So moved, Mr. President.
So moved by Councilman Franciski,
Second.
seconded by Councilman Hill. Any questions on the motions? Hearing none, roll call.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Garcia,
No.
Orange,
Yes.
Ransford. Yes. Monroe,
Yes.
Perez,
Yes.
payroll warrants, payroll weekly, biweekly, 062521, 070121, payroll miscellaneous, 062521.
So moved, Mr. President.
And a motion made by Councilman Garcia,
Second.
seconded by Councilman Monroe. Any questions on the motions? Hearing none, roll call.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield, Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Ransford. Monroe,
Yes.
Perez,
Yes. Any committee reports?
Yeah, Mr. President.
Yes, sir, Councilman Garcia.
Yeah, you asked me at that last council meeting to have a public safety meeting, reference, the maintenance, package that the PD wanted. They were invited. They did not show up. The fire department showed up, and we talked about some issues they're having. We plan to have another meeting, but we're gonna go forward and, have another meeting to discuss the salary ordinance.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Any board reports? Ordinances on first reading.
ordinance on first reading, ordinance 21-0047, sponsor Councilman Emiliano Perez. An ordinance amending ordinance number 12-0009, increasing the maximum staff levels and setting minimum staff levels for the East Chicago Fire Department suppression personnel.
I am withdrawing this ordinance at this time. It's my ordinance, I'm withdrawing it. So if we could read on the next ordinance, please.
Next ordinance on first reading, ordinance number 21-0048, sponsor Councilman Terrence Hill. An ordinance to establish resident parking only on the east side of Kennedy Avenue from 4914 Kennedy Avenue to 4922 Kennedy Avenue by the addition of Q6 to section 72.101 of the city code.
So move on first and second reading, Mr. President.
So move to hear it on first and second reading from Councilman Hill, seconded from Councilman Ransford.
Yes.
Councilman Ransford, any questions on the motion?
Yeah, I'd like to just speak a little bit.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Mr. Hill.
the reason I want this motion is because, we got that new store right there on Kennedy, which is doing absolutely well and is getting overwhelmingly with customers. And I got some residents that recently moved in, and a lot of people are taking up their park. When she get off of work, she can't park there. And you got parking all across the street, which they fail to do. So she asked me, can we put a resident parking sign from the store all the way down, going back towards the other way. So, like I say, I would like that because the store is doing really well. That new store on Kennedy is doing really well.
Nice.
If you not go back there and check on the tacos, they taste really good.
Councilman Monroe.
That, moving that wouldn't affect the store business.
No.
would it?
I also had a store sign put up with store parking as well, business parking as well. So it won't affect the store. The store, it comes after the store. You know, store is right here, and then her house is right here. So they can start right here where she parks at and on down that way. But this way is all for the store. Thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Ransford. Ransford. Mr. President,
He's on now.
Councilman Ransomfer, are you out there? Continue with the vote, Mr. Clerk.
Monroe,
Yes.
Perez,
Yes.
Mr. President, make a motion to suspend the rules and
We got a motion to suspend the rules, hear it on third and final reading, seconded by Councilman Monroe. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, roll call.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Garcia,
yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Ransford. Yes. Monroe,
Yes.
Perez.
Yes.
So move on third and final reading, Mr. President.
Got a motion to move it on third and final reading by Councilman Garcia,
Second.
seconded by Councilman Hill. Questions on the motion? Hearing none, roll call.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Ransford. Yes. Monroe,
Yes.
Perez.
Yes.
Mr. President, I'd like to thank my colleagues for helping me with this ordinance. I thank you.
Ordinances on second reading.
We have none.
Ordinances on third reading.
We have three ordinances on third reading. Ordinance 21-0039, sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland. Additional appropriation ordinance for the Department of Parks and Recreation.
So move, Mr. President, on third and final reading.
So moved by Councilman Garcia. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Hill. Questions on the motion? Hearing none, roll call.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Ransford. Yes. Monroe,
Yes.
Perez.
Yes.
Ordinance 21-0040, sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland. Additional appropriation ordinance for the Department of Special Events.
So move in third and final reading, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Monroe to be heard on third and final reading. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, roll call.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Ransford. Yes. Monroe,
Yes.
Perez.
Yes.
Ordinance 21-0045, sponsored council members Emiliano Perez, Robert Garcia, Monica Gonzalez, Kenneth Monroe, Dwayne Ransford, and Stacy Winfield. An ordinance amending Chapter 30.01 of the East Chicago Municipal Code, amending the dates of the regular meeting of the Common Council.
So move in third and final reading, Mr. President.
Got a motion by Councilman Garcia to move on third, seconded by Councilman Monroe. Any questions on the motion? Councilwoman Orange.
Okay, so it never was explained on why you're moving it from Monday to Wednesday, so I'd like to know the answer to that.
Seeing that we're going to be seeking new counsel, the one counsel that interviewed last time, that we would like to approach to actually hope that we get the votes to offer her the job, cannot do Mondays, so we're moving to Wednesdays.
So if she decides that she doesn't want the job, are we keeping it to Wednesday or are we going back to Monday?
She has expressed interest that she would be interested in the job.
So we are doing this for her.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Franciski,
No.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield, Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
No.
Ransford,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Perez,
Yes. Resolutions.
We have two resolutions. First resolution, 21-0009, sponsor Councilman Lenny Franciski. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of East Chicago concerning a petition for use variance to permit 7 residential units and a commercial unit pursuant to neighborhood retail zone parcels at 4801 Homerly Avenue.
Any questions on the resolution?
Yeah, just, first, I believe Doug Powers is in the,
Motion first.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
We have a motion by Councilman Franciski,
Second.
seconded by Councilman Garcia. Questions on the motion?
President?
Councilman
I
Franciski.
believe we have, Mr. Powers here to speak on it from the, planning.
Thank you for having me, Council. Doug Powers, City Planner. So this petition, it was submitted to the Planning Department. It went in front of the Board of Zoning Appeals on June 2nd, and it was voted, or they recommended denial for 2 reasons. It was a unanimous 5-0. The 2 reasons that they recommended denial for this petition was that they felt the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance would be affected in a substantially adverse manner since the property is zoned to 2-family dwelling and should remain 2-family dwelling in character. The additional reason they voted this way too was that they felt this would be injurious to the public health, safety, and morals and general welfare of the community because the site does not allow sufficient off-street parking to accommodate the request. On that Board of Zoning Appeals, there were 2 petitioners who came before us on that day, or actually 3 that were recommended denial. 2 were a couple, they were all nearby owners, and their issues were associated with parking needs. The petition was submitted by Light LLC, and the person representing that petition, his name is Dan Stamer, and I believe he had just joined us as well. If you have any questions for me, I'll be more than happy to answer them. You may want to ask him as well.
Well, go ahead. You can ask your questions and I'll.
What's the as per the effects, you said?
Well, the adverse effects. So if I don't know, do you have the images to see what the property looks like? You mind if I approach? So this property was originally constructed in 1905, and they had, or 1908, my apologies. And they built 2 primary dwellings on one single zone parcel. And this property has had 7 legal non-conforming residential dwellings there, and it's had an illegal commercial business there for years too. And this petition, it was originally brought to me by this group as to what could potentially be done with this property. And in order for them to maximize the use of the property, they felt without doing renovations and just your typical improvements, that utilizing it as is, 8 units, and the potential impact of this, as you know, use variances are perpetual unless, you know, they end up being rescinded later on by their, you know, requests. So if this was to be approved, those 7 residential units would be approved in perpetuity. They would not be bound to the legal non-conforming restrictions. So if they were to go without them for a year or longer, you know, losing that right to do that. And additional, the commercial business having the commercial or the mixed use in area that is, you know, 2-family dwelling primarily. So the primary potential concerns would be, you know, parking. The one person that came had stated that they live on Northcott on the opposite side of the alleyway, and that the people already will block the alley, making it difficult for them to get to the residence. So the major, you know, drawbacks would be the perpetual increase in density in an area that it may not be desired.
How many units is it now?
It's currently 7. That, as I mentioned, they had 1 illegal, so it has been 8. They just never had acquired business licenses, or when they were notified they needed a business license, the person that was running it stopped contacting us, told us they stopped their business.
Councilman Franciski.
Yeah, and at this point, I'm asking my colleagues if we can vote no on this, just because of the fact of talking to the residents, talking to the precinct committee person. There was not applicable parking there. Like you said, there was already an illegal business there at all. The other next corners, there's a church. There's no parking at all. Now, maybe down the line, there is an empty lot next door. He could possibly purchase it. And I think that would be parking for the business. I believe he was trying to make a hair salon with 6 chairs, I believe, in it.
And that's correct. And actually, if a petition was submitted with different parcels combined, it would not be viewed as the same petition too.
Yeah, and as earlier sitting down with Mr. Powers, we tried to look at it and see what we could do, and maybe like I was saying before, he can possibly look at that lot and maybe turn it in. But I'm asking my colleagues at this point if you can vote no on it. I'm even talking to the First District Councilwoman here. It butts up to her district, and maybe she would like to speak on that as well. Just there's no parking on one side of the street is the second district, the other side is the first, and it's mostly all residential. And now you're trying to put, you know, the 7 plus the business with the 6 chairs. Like I say, at this point, I'm voting no on it. Thank you.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes, I did speak to Councilman Franciski, and it's one, like he said, one side of the street is the first district, the other side is the second, and there is already parking issues with out-of-state licenses and things like that, and right now, this is just the best decision that he could make right now with this.
And also too, the business owner, and we're not saying anything, but she's from Illinois. It'd be different if she's gonna live in the building and take care of the property as well. But we see so many fly-by-nights come and go, and you know, I just don't, at this point, no.
Any other questions on the motion? On the resolution, I'm sorry. Okay, hearing none, roll call.
Gonzalez,
No.
Franciski,
No.
Hill,
No.
Garcia,
No.
Orange,
No.
Ransford,
No.
Monroe,
No.
Perez.
No.
Thank you.
Resolution 21-0010.
I'm sorry, Mr. Clerk, go ahead.
Sponsor, Councilman Emiliano Perez. Resolution, Common Council of the City of East Chicago, Indiana, granting 4400 Homer Lee TMG LLC and assessed valuation deductions, tax abatement for tangible real property under Indiana Code 6-1.1-12.1.
So move, Mr. President.
We got a motion by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Monroe. Any questions on the resolution? Ms. Orange?
Okay, so why are we removing this and,
I can speak to that. I'd like to speak to that. When we passed the abatement ordinance, the ordinance tied it into the owner. So if the owner left the property, excuse me, after developing it, they would lose the abatement. So after sitting down and speaking to the owners of the development, they're speculative builders. So they're going to come in, they're going to build a new building, and they hope to put it out on the market. Well, they can't fill the building with a abatement rate. And then when they sell it, the rate changes on the renters of the facility. So it made all sense to me that we were kind of choking off the development of the 4,400 home relief project by doing that. They were not going to close because they couldn't sell something that they would have to take away from a tenant if they sold the building. Not that they intend to sell the building, but they needed that flexibility for their financing. And it sounded reasonable to me, so it was initially my my amendment to the abatement ordinance. That's why I chose to act on it and remove it.
Steve or Adam, maybe you guys can talk. If they're renting, if they rent that out, the renters don't get the abatement. It's the owner of the property that gets the abatement, right? So what you're saying is that if they sold it to somebody else, they want to be able to say you continue to get the abatement. It's not a renter.
Correct. It's not the renter, but the renter's rent would be affected if the abatement didn't carry over.
Oh, okay, because I thought this.
Right.
I'm gonna say, I know.
No. The abatement don't go to the renter. You're absolutely correct. But the trickle-down effect does.
I don't have no problem with
Any other questions?
that. I mean, they're gonna sell it anyway.
Roll call.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Francisco,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Toxic waste.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Ransford,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Perez.
Yes.
Resolution 21-0011, sponsored Councilman Emiliano Perez. The resolution concerning the Common Council proposed budget.
So move, Mr. President.
We have a motion to move by Councilman Garcia on Resolution 21-0011.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Gonzalez. Questions on the motion? Councilwoman Orange?
Okay, so a couple of things. So we must be planning on passing the 2022 budget if we are submitting this kind of budget. Am I correct?
That is the intentions of this council.
Okay, so somebody explained to me how a council budget could be $1,854,722.51 for a council budget. I'm just floored. I just can't even be, I think it's probably higher than the judge's budget or the clerk's budget. How we came to this amount to be able to do a council budget. And I'm just like, I'm just thinking that eventually the legislator's gonna come and say the same thing they did for the school board. When you have this kind of budget, you bring attention to yourself, the legislator's gonna eventually say, hey, you can pare this down where you don't have no council at large, or you put the two council seats together. I just don't think that the council should have this kind of budget. And I see we got back on here the administrator for aid contractual. I guess that's for that administrator, $75,000. We paying somebody to do a council job because that's your job, to call places and ask questions. You got a financial advisor, you got a legal person for which you have now are going to pay double. And for litigation, you got 500,000, and that's just something else. I mean, you guys want to sit up and talk about the administration, but here we are doing the same thing with this amount of money. That's a lot. I just think that you're gonna bring a lot of attention to yourself with almost a $2 million budget for a council.
Any other questions? Councilman Hill.
Yes, I was looking over this too, and I'm unclear how effective this will be towards this council meeting, because I'm not trying to go to jail once they try to investigate. So, I don't see where it's fit that we should, take on this. I just don't see the reasoning for it myself. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Mr. President.
Councilman Garcia.
Yeah, in legal, we wouldn't need that much in legal if the mayor wasn't taking us to court and fighting instead of just meeting with us. I think this is a regular budget. I'm not scared of no legislatures. The census information will be coming out this August, we might just we're a town right now. This council could vote to be a town and get smaller. I ain't got no problem with that. I ain't got none, but let's say the truth out there. The city is so small, we should be a town. That's all, Mr. President.
Any other questions?
Mr. President,
Yes, sir, Mr. Francisco.
legislative aid, that's the one that's for 75,000?
Yes, that is actually, we're anticipating, if we can get a position, Councilman Franciski, into the employee position, their employee of the city, the 75 counts their benefits. So it's like a $50,000 position, $25,000 for benefit. If they don't give us a position, because only the mayor can make a position, then we would have the option to hire at a contracted basis for that amount.
So this is
To have someone that,
position?
excuse me? It'll be a full-time position, exactly.
We're not even full-time, we're part-time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Hill.
What would they be doing?
They would function as our secretary.
It's a chore handles things for me. I need something. Isn't she our administrative person?
Mr. President? Yeah, she is, but she works full-time for the mayor.
Look like she worked full-time for us too.
Any other questions? Councilwoman Orange.
Okay, so you got on here 2 secretaries, 2 council secretaries, 1 legislative aide, and plus our salaries on that. So that person's gonna be a secretary, so what do you do with the 2 secretaries you got?
No, the 2 secretaries, Steve, would you talk to that a little bit?
There are no Steve Dalton, by the way. There are no cuts in the salary line items, Councilman Orange. There are 2 secretaries that are already paid by this council. Stipends, their full-time positions are paid from other departments. You paid them stipends from your budget. Those were left in the budget. If you wanted to cut them at a future date, you could, but there was no reason to cut them, so they're still in this budget.
So maybe since you could talk to that, you could tell me what would these 2 secretaries be doing versus the 1 secretary that's.
I'm happy to not be the job description writer for the council, just the financial advisor. I don't know.
I think, I'll speak to that. I think the stipend is so minuscule that we chose to not take it away from the 2 that are doing it now, which is Vivian and Elida, and that will be phased out through attrition. Any other questions?
I understand, but how do they apply for this job? Because I'm sure some of the people that's working for the city would like to have $75,000 job.
Yeah, it'll be advertised if approved. And since I've given an opportunity for everyone to speak, I'd like to just comment on this. I think Councilman Garcia hit on something when he said, if we weren't challenged every time we try to do something as a co-equal branch of government, we wouldn't need this. This city council has investigatory powers, but no resources to conduct an investigation. We need to better position ourselves as a co-equal branch of government to be able and stand up to a one branch of government system that we have here in the city and try to make it as balanced as we can. And the only thing that's going to allow us to do that is a budget. We do not have to spend this money if we're working cooperatively with the administration. That is my intent, to work cooperatively with them, and we would never have to spend a dime of this. But if needed, we need to be able to have the resources to protect the integrity of the city council. That being said, roll call.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Franciski,
No.
Hill,
No.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Absolutely not.
Ransford,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Perez,
Yes. Old business. New business.
Right here.
Councilwoman Orange.
I would just like, and maybe one of the secretaries can send a letter to Etwan Moore, congratulating him on being in the NBA Finals. One of our very own. I don't think we've ever had and maybe a coach can talk on this. We've never had anybody go to the finals. Have we?
One who went to the finals, Kenny Lofton.
Okay, Kenny Lofton
When you-
for baseball, but
K-
nobody in
KK went
basketball.
football. KK in football.
And KK in football.
KK in
so.
football.
But for basketball, we've never had anybody. So congratulations to him. And we're proud of him. Came right off of Guthrie Street. And hopefully maybe just send him a letter saying congratulations and that how proud we are of him.
And that comes from the council, correct?
Yeah, that come from the council.
Did you get that, Elida? Great, thank you. Any other new business, Councilman Hill?
Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you to all the different department heads that has been working with me and continuously work with me to help my community. And I think they do a great job at the Public Works when I call and try to get something done, and the administration when I call and try to get something done. So I just want to give them a shout out and tell them thank you for their helping me within my district.
Any other new business? Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Oh, I just wanted to make an announcement. The East Chicago Evening Lions Club is having a car show on August 7th from 2 to 7 at the Knights of Columbus in East Chicago. We are also looking for sponsors if you'd like to sponsor any like a basket or anything of that sort. The East Chicago Evening Lions focuses on charities for sight, hearing, and other activities within the community. So I just wanted to let you guys know.
Council, I have one more, I'm sorry.
Councilwoman Orange.
The 6th District is going to have a community yard sale August the 7th from 9 to 1. And if anybody wants to participate in that, my number's on the signs that are up, 201-1040. And if you'd like to have a space or a space in front of your house, let me know. Thank you.
Ms. Monica, how do participants get into the car show? Do it have to be a certain year of a car, or if you got a
No,
pretty car, just
no,
bring it?
it's just car show. If you have a classic, if you have a nice newer vehicle that you want to show, we do have 3 awards: Best in Show, Lion's Choice, and People's Choice. There is a minimal entry fee of $10, and the day of it's going to be $15. And so
What's the date?
the date is August 7th. It's a Saturday.
My dad's
They could
car.
drive on by the community yard sale.
Councilman Garcia.
Yeah, just to echo on that, on August 7th, it's going to be a big day because the 4th and 5th district also has their district yard sales. So the whole harbor will be in
In
yard
yard
sale
sale
mode. So
They'd ride on through.
yeah, so just want to say that too. The 4th and 5th, along with the 6th, will be on the yard sale on August 7th.
Any other new business?
Yeah, Dwayne Ransford here. This Saturday, July 17th, from 1 to 4, I'll be having my official book release and scholarship presentation of the kids that were awarded the scholarship that I do every year. So, I'm just asking all council members and community members to, if you can, please stop by and show your support. But it'll be this Saturday at the East Chicago Harbor Library from 1 to 4.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations on that. Any other new business? Hearing none, public expression, Mr. Dan Stamer.
He left.
He left. Mr. Joseph Allegretti.
Thank you.
Okay, that being done, a motion to adjourn.
No more, Mr. President.
Motion to adjourn, Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Hill. Roll call.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Francisco,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes, sir.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Rancifer,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Perez.
Yes. Adjourn.